Hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of Keep It Moving Podcast. I am your host, Novelty, and joining me today, as always, is Mike B.
What it do?
Can I call you beautiful today?
Hey, we are not going to start every show with this nonsense. Let it happen. Let it happen one more time, and I'm done.
Okay,
I'm quitting.
Next show, everybody got to listen because you know when I get threatened, I'm going to do it.
It's going to be silence, and you're going to be just looking at me. And I'm letting you know ahead of time.
Whatever.
I'm quitting.
Whatever.
How are you?
I'm good, and you?
I'm doing just fine.
How's the last few weeks been going?
Yeah, it has been a while since we recorded. Everything's been good. It's the same old, same old. You know I ain't out here doing nothing. I ain't freestyling.
I know
I ain't
you're
doing
boring.
nothing extra. You boring too? You just stay at the house just like me?
I do homework.
Oh,
Homework is
so
over
fun.
in 2 weeks.
That is so fun.
2 weeks, and then the party started a few days ago.
This is your birthday month. I know you're
Yes,
excited
it
about
is.
that. You got any plans for the 4th?
Same old, hanging with my fam
Mm-hmm.
on the block, partying.
Don't call it partying. Just say you'll be there and they'll be partying.
Wish.
And there used to be a time where you would actually drink some type of drink
I still do.
for the entire month.
I'll drink. I'll drink with you right now.
You gonna say that during the show? We ain't got time to be going to fix you a drink now.
Get a butler.
I need somebody. I need a maid. Ain't no butler. I need a maid. Somebody to clean up my bathroom.
Oh, see, that's just nasty on so many levels.
How you know? You ain't even seen my bathroom. It's just nasty.
I don't want to.
I'll give you $20 to clean up my bathroom.
It would cost you a whole lot more than $20 for me to clean your bathroom.
You think so?
Yes, because you're a man and you don't make the toilet bowl.
You better ask somebody. I've been aiming for years. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's what y'all say, and you get the yellow dribble down the side of the toilet. Have you ever bought one of those?
Hey, this is gonna be. I feel like you're going to an inappropriate place.
Have you ever bought one of those blue lights to when you
like
know,
a
when you go
neon
to
light?
Well, no, when you go to hotels, they say you should check the sheets with the blue light, and it's supposed to show you all the nastiness on the comforters and stuff like that.
Like a black light?
Yeah.
Nope.
Okay. Well, I did.
In your bathroom?
My bathroom is clean, baby.
I'm asking where you do it at.
I bought it for my trip.
Oh, okay.
Because if my bathroom not clean, somebody go come clean it. But I should bring it over to you and let you check your toilet.
Why?
Then if it's clean, I'll clean your bathroom.
Why would I need you to clean it if it's clean? Come on now.
That's my point right there.
That doesn't make any sense. Like, I'm going to give you some money for some gas and I got a full tank.
I'm not cleaning up nastiness.
What do you think you're cleaning up?
I'll clean the bathroom. I will clean a bathroom, but I'm not cleaning up your urine down the side of the bowl.
You would make a horrible maid. I'm just letting you know ahead of time.
You're damn straight. Because it ain't no way. It's not going to happen.
Anyway, I know you're ready and anxious to get into the show, but I got to know your thoughts on the BET Music Awards. Your people were honored. Lifetime Achievement Award goes to New Edition, your boys.
I was happy.
Last year, was it last year
happy.
for your birthday? You went to wasn't the concert here, or was it 2 years ago?
It might have been 2 years ago. But
they were still were trying to tour. Bobby was still a part of the crew.
No, that was a few years ago. The last one, Bobby
wasn't there the last time?
Bobby ain't been there in a minute.
Well, he was there on the BET Music Awards, and he was trying.
He was wearing fur.
Hey, you know what?
Don't June.
He wasn't wearing it. He
California.
had a fur shoulder strap.
No, he had a fur shoulder strap on stage.
Yeah. Oh, he
had some fur line, something going on off stage. The
really?
red trench thing had fur lining.
Oh, this must have been before the show.
No, it was during it.
I didn't see that at all.
When he was sitting out in the crowd, he had some kind of red trench coat on.
Well, maybe the air was on like Arctic, and so everybody had to figure out a way to stay warm.
He was in L.A. in June. I think that's where they did it.
But he wasn't outside. He was inside. You don't think they got air?
I don't think they got enough air for fur.
Just because it's BET, we ain't got no air?
My dog sits in the house panting. It ain't enough air for fur.
You know, your dog is a little bit different than Bobby Brown. I'm just saying.
That might be true. But my dog can't shed his fur. Bobby Brown can.
And he did, because he wasn't on stage with it. Anyway, what did you think about your boys?
Oh, I loved it.
You love the tribute?
Of course. Oh, the tribute was awesome. I think the little guys did real good.
The younger, the
they
guys
did a
from
really
the show.
good job.
I agree with that. It was actually one of the moments where I had to get up and, relive my childhood. I don't like them as much as you do. I'm not like.
I don't think you would.
Yeah, I'm not like I don't think I like any music group like that where I would actually go and buy a ticket to see them. I'm not, it's I'm not
I'll go
that
and buy
serious.
tickets to see people that I don't like as much as New Edition. A concert is a nice thing to do. It's fun.
So? At times, but we're going to.
Have you ever been?
No, I don't have time.
Okay, so then you don't know what you're missing.
I do know what I'm missing, and we're going to talk about what I'm missing later on in the episode and why I don't attend concerts.
This I got to hear.
Yeah, but along with the BET Music Awards, I forgot what we were talking about. Along with the BET Music Awards, I didn't really have a Black Achievements in Excellence for this particular week. I've been searching all day, but I thought back to what some of the people that were honored on the BET Music Awards, like Chance the Rapper. We've talked about him. I think he received or we shouted him out on Black Achievements in Excellence a couple times before, but he received the Humanitarian Award on the award show. Your boys, New Edition, got the Lifetime Achievement Awards, but also, in addition to Chance the Rapper, we found out about Michael and Martellus Bennett, who are both NFL players. And I didn't know that they were so influential in their communities and giving back. And they have like outreach programs, and they were doing a whole lot. And they were also honored on the BET Music Awards. That was surprising to me. So, Black people were actually doing, we're out here doing what we're supposed to do. Some of us.
We do what we're supposed to do and more.
Yeah. And you don't really hear about it. And so I was kind of pissed off that I didn't know that, Michael and Martellus were actually doing more than just being, voice boxes. And another person I wanted to kind of give an honorary shout out to was Jay-Z, because we haven't recorded since 2 weeks ago. So Father's Day came, and I heard that he was out here bailing fathers out, for Father's Day, people who have minor situations going on. And that's needed, because a lot of times people fall into the trap of the system because they don't have the $400, $500 to get out. And then it becomes more of a situation because you're stuck in this place where nobody gives a damn about you. They treat you bad, and then you get into a fight or whatever, and now you're trapped. And, just shout out to him. He had an album released the other day. Have you checked it out yet?
No, but I'm interested to hear the 444 song.
Oh, is that I know that's the name of the CD, but he has a song called that as well?
Yeah, I believe so. He wrote it at 4:44 in the morning.
Right on. Everybody is saying, everybody who's posting on social media that have listened to the CD is mentioning how I guess he admitted that he had, cheated on Beyonce. I don't know what that's all about. But I will say a lot of people were also talking about how, I guess, empowering his CD was, and talking about, I guess, the strength of the Black people and the Black man. And we know Beyonce and Jay-Z have been actually out there behind the scenes,
right.
Not so much, on the front lines, but behind the scenes doing what they can for Black people. And you just got to give props where props are due.
Right.
So the Black Achievements in Entertainment goes to Chance the Rapper, Michael and Martellus Bennett, and Jay-Z for this particular episode. Shout out to each and every one of you guys, and an honorary to New Edition.
Woohoo! He's looking at me, so I guess it's up to me
turn
to bring everybody down.
It's your turn.
Well,
that's what you do.
Anyway.
I lift them up, you bring them down.
Anyway, jump into Undercover Government really quick here. Just kind of let you guys know what we missed and what we've been distracted, or why they've been distracting us, put it that way. The new COB report states that
CBO.
I'm sorry, you're right, CBO.
Congressional Budget Office? Is that what it says? Okay.
These are the people that actually take whatever bills that are Congress throws together, and they calculate the money, the dollars, and where they land and how they affect Americans. Well, they have revised the revised Obamacare bill, or repeal of Obamacare, put it that way.
Trump care.
That bill will put 32 million Americans, or it will leave 32 million Americans without health care. At first, the bill came out and it said it was 23.
I remember that
now,
number.
no, it is 32 million Americans. So at one point, Trump even said, hey, you know what? Well, forget it. Let's just repeal it now and replace it later, which leaves everybody in limbo. So just kind of be aware of what's.
And I feel like at one point we mentioned on this show that what they'll likely do is try to repeal it and then say they're going to replace it later and then end up doing nothing.
And that's a possibility. All of that's on the table. It's all in the hands of the Senate. And we already know how that's going. Trump and Putin will meet face to face next week. The Washington,
which is weird in the middle of this Russia investigation.
Well, hold on, because all of this is going to kind of clump together. Trump and Putin meet face to face next week. The Washington Post just released a detailed report, not speculation, a report on Americans and their potential collusion with Russia. GOP operatives. I'm sorry, that's the name. If you want to read about it, GOP operatives sought Clinton emails from hackers implied a connection with Flynn. That's the name of the article, and it's with the Washington Post. The Department of Homeland Security will not look into whether or not the voting machines were tampered with during the last election, and the House Appropriations Committee is defunding the Elections Assistance Committee, and that's the committee that is specifically created to ensure that our elections don't get tampered with.
Now, how does any of that make sense if you want to ensure you have a legitimate election? It's like this guy's just trying to break everything he can, and people are allowing it. Congress is backing him. It's just ridiculous
Paul Ryan
right now.
said it's easier to deal with him than it is to deal with a Democrat.
And that's how he feels?
That's how he feels.
And it's not even dealing with him. We're talking about what he's doing versus him, the person.
Paul Ryan said.
Yeah, I don't give a damn about the Speaker of the House. He's nothing or nobody to me. I can't stand any of them.
I just put it out there for you to. I want you to know it. Also, the No Sanctuary for Criminals Act is went into place, and that basically is targeting sanctuary cities. Kate's Law addresses deported illegal aliens and what happens if they re-enter. That was put into place. The part of Trump's travel ban has been put into place
by the Supreme Court.
Right. And then the EPA has begun to run back the Clean Water Act.
Meaning
that companies that were told you cannot dump this in the water supply can start dumping in the water supply.
And like, what kind of human being would be okay with, just as a human, would be okay with people infecting the water? Maybe because it's not your particular water supply and you could afford to have your water treated. But you care about America.
What doesn't affect you until it affects you.
And you're making sure that it never affects you, so you don't have to care about anything. The same way he doesn't have to care about the presidency because he's not really all in. He's just doing whatever he can to line his pockets, like the rest of Congress appears to be doing. Republicans in particular.
So that is what happened that is important. This is how he distracted us. He's campaigning again. He's taking on the Morning Joe. And I mean, he's lost his mind bullying this woman from the Morning Joe. I don't even know what her name is.
But Mika.
The tweets that he sent out should have never been sent out. They were bullying tweets, and Melania
They
Trump,
should have never been sent out from a president.
They should have never been sent out from a person.
Well,
it's not okay.
It's not okay, but look at the person that we're talking about.
Oh,
this is who he is.
And
he's always been this person. We knew about it, so it's not surprising that he would attack a woman.
Right.
He would attack anybody.
Makes it worse.
His position is the problem.
And Melania, who is supposed to be, her whole platform is supposed to be taking on the bullies.
Cyberbullying.
She says, well, if you come at my husband, he's going to come back 10 times harder. And that's her response.
What else? I mean, what can she say? She has no power. She has no pull. She can't tell this guy what to do. Nobody seems to be able to tell this out of control lunatic what to do.
You cannot take on you. That cannot be your platform. She knew going in.
But we knew
that this
when she said that this was going to be her platform. Everybody was like, "Yeah, right," because you can't deal with that guy. So we all knew it was a joke. And she's been hiding from this guy for the first 5 months of his presidency. So we knew that wasn't going to be her
you think
actual.
She really gonna move to DC?
She's there. They're there.
You think they sleep in separate rooms?
Yeah, why not? Who would? Well, that's some women sleep with some strange people, so I can't say who would sleep with that guy. I'm sure I'm sure there are women out there because he's charismatic in an ridiculous way. And he's charming to some people. They like his humor, because it's not they're not looking at the way it's affecting them. And he's good at what he does. You have to admit he's good,
damn good at the distraction.
at what he does.
He's distracting people from what's really going on.
Yeah.
He's very good at
all
that.
the while in the background making moves. And this is what Congress or Republicans in Congress are banking on. This is their guy.
Well, but the problem is their guy is not making the moves they want him to make. Anyway, also Philando Castile's family was awarded $3 million from the city.
Which to me,
for loss of life,
right? A wrongful death lawsuit or something like that. What's irritating, because this happens all the time.
Yeah,
we get into like the actual trial. The police officer gets acquitted. The grand jury doesn't see a reason. They, I guess, believe the story that the officer feared for their lives, and the case is done. But then we have the wrongful death lawsuit, and the family usually gets awarded something. And it's like, if you see that they were wrong in this death, then how did you not see that? I guess it's because it's from two different people. Like, it's not a grand jury that's deciding.
Well, no, I think the thing is, it's law. I kind of talked about this just a little bit when I on my rant. When you're dealing with law is different. When a jury sits down and they hear a case. They hear the case first. Then after the case is over and the room is cleared, it's the jury and the judge. And the judge says, okay, now this is the law. And you have to see this. You have to make your decision based off of what the law is. And like there's one lady, and I don't have her name up, and I will find it and give it to you so you can post it in the comments. But she posted an article about, or she posted her own version of a rant about juries and why we should not blame the jury. She is a lawyer and she's out of New York, and she says one law that most people don't even know is on the books is that in New York, if you give someone drugs, you just give them to them, not sell them, but give it to them, it's still considered a sale of drugs. So if a jury is sitting there and they hear a story and they hear the story about how you were hanging out with your friend and your friend just handed you some drugs and you took them, you're thinking, no, I didn't do anything wrong. You're being charged with purchasing drugs. And then the jury's even sitting there going, no, she didn't purchase anything. They clear the room. And then all of a sudden the judge says, okay, now here is the law. The law says that even if you are giving them without any kind of exchange of money, then it is still a sale. So now that jury has to make their decision based off that law. So the thing is, and the bottom line is, we must know the law. And that's what most people don't know. We don't know the law. So in that situation, that's how we can get a wrongful death suit and get awarded millions. But
because it's not against the law.
Well, because
the law is different.
No, a wrongful death suit is not necessarily about law. It is about loss of life. It is about what are you losing because, and can it be proven that this person took that life? Yeah, they can prove that the cop killed Philando Castile. They can prove that this is the amount of money that he would have made within his lifetime. This is what he is losing. This is what his family has lost. They can prove that. They just can't, with the law, prove that this policeman did anything in malice, did anything because he wasn't afraid for his life. So that it's the law.
Yeah, that's tricky, because if I was there, I would be able to. You can't tell me that this officer did all of the things he did, even with the initial stop, which wasn't sanctioned, because he feared for his life. Fuck that.
Well, and that, I don't know the law in that state. You'd have to look at the law see exactly what the judge said to them before it ended. Let's move on, because I'm getting angry at you versus them. I'm passing on the information. This is how it happens. Just know.
Anyway, a Cincinnati police officer is in hot water because of this whole Philando Castile. The verdict that came out, there was his name is Freddie Vincent. He posted it to his Facebook. Now he's in hot water. They're investigating per usual, but he wanted to warn his black brothers and sisters. And he said, a message to all my Afro-American friends and family: when you are encountered by a white officer, even though the officer that pulled over Philando Castile wasn't necessarily white, I believe wearing the uniform, he felt white. Make sure, he said, make sure that you are in a public place and comply to all of their commands because they are looking for a reason to kill a black man. And always keep your hands in the air and never resist. I'm so tired of cops using these famous words. I was in fear of my life. And this is coming from an officer. Of course, with the whole blue wall of silence situation, it seems as if he's going against his people. Maybe they're going to say he's putting the other officers in danger or whatever, even though he's telling his people to comply, to not resist, to, do everything they're supposed to do. Philando did the same thing and he lost his life because it's utter bullshit, in my opinion. But I'm glad to have other officers speaking out. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't disagree at all. It is utter bullshit. But when you got to change the law. You got to change the law. It's that simple because the judge and the courts can only go by the law. Civil cases is a whole totally different thing because they don't necessarily have to deal with law.
You're not finna get me down this rabbit hole again.
I'm not have to take you down the rabbit hole.
Okay.
I'm
You're just talking to the people.
Really trying to understand. It's law. Law is your problem. How do you combat law?
I feel like it's a possibility that a law has been manipulated in some of these situations.
Guaranteed.
So you can't say really it's just the law. It's the manipulation of the law.
All laws have been manipulated over the course of history, of course.
Yeah. Well,
do you want to change? If you want to change the situation, you must change the law.
Even changing the law doesn't change the situation, in my opinion, because they'll find the next law or the next situation.
It's a continuous cycle. You can't. It's not gonna happen in one fell swoop. It's not gonna happen with one little thing. It is a continuing cycle. Every time you see something wrong with a law, you got to change it. It's something wrong with this one. It's something wrong with the one in Florida. Stand your ground law in Florida. Now, instead of changing that law, all we've done is change 50 million states. Because now Missouri's a stand your ground state. Kansas is a stand your ground state. I know Missouri wasn't prior to the death of Trayvon Martin, but now it is. That doesn't make sense to me. You got to change the law.
It does. It makes sense to me because it's like he just said, they're looking for a reason
it's the
to
excuse.
kill
So
black
what do
people.
you do? Just sit there and do nothing?
No, I'm saying I don't think changing the law, it's maybe changing your mindset about it. But we know the law is not in our favor. And even when you change it, it's still not going to be for us. So there has to be a different solution, I believe. That's just me.
What's the different solution? What's the solution?
I haven't thought of it yet.
Okay.
I didn't know I was going to be asked today.
Well, think about it. And give me your answer next week.
I'm not going to remember this next week. No. It's going to be another cussing out next week.
Oh. So so I heard about a white cop and a black cop and a shootout and all kind of stuff.
No, it wasn't necessarily a shootout. From what I understand, this is June 23rd. About 10 p.m. Wednesday evening, St. Louis police received a report that a stolen vehicle had been spotted. So they laid down some spike strips and, got into like a shootout with the people who stole the car, right? And then
in the middle of the street?
Yeah, it's 10 p.m., so it's nighttime.
Yeah, but still, people in bed sleep. You might slip and hit somebody's house.
Who's concerned about that?
Evidently not the cops.
Didn't we just say? So this leads you to believe that the suspects guaranteed are of minorities. I'll say minorities. But anyway, I think at one point the suspects got back in their vehicles and the police chased them until they crashed. And then they got out of the car and fled on foot. Now, another off-duty police officer heard the commotion, I think heard the crash, and he came out and he had his service weapon with him.
Okay.
And this is when he, I guess, came across the other officers. And, they mistook him for a suspect. They, told him, get down on your knees or whatever, put the weapon down. So they work in
he must have been a black cop.
He was black, of course. And they work in the same, office, the same unit. But, it wasn't until, I guess, he complied with everything they wanted. He got down. Then they, I guess, recognized who he was. Maybe he told them, like, hey, it's me. Mike, it's Mike B. Hey, don't shoot.
Okay,
and then so they were like, you can, get up, come over here. And the article says they told him to walk towards us as if still kind of not really believing, because that just sounds weird. Walk towards us.
Okay.
I don't know. But anyway, as he was doing that, I'm assuming he still has his, service weapon with him. Another cop pulls up and then he sees the situation. This black guy walking towards these officers. He has a weapon. He jumps out and he's the one who shoots the black guy
Do they not have
in his
radios?
arm.
Are they not talking to each other over the radio that's on their
Well,
shoulder?
in the middle of a situation like that, I don't think so, because I don't even know if they were expecting the other cop to show up. But they all work together. This is what's confusing to me. But it's nighttime, and it's a black guy. So, of course.
So did the man die?
No, he got shot in the arm. And I don't know if anybody's been suspended, but these are people that you work with. And they don't see the coworker. They see
conversation the next day.
They see the black man, and that's it.
You think when they went into work, they got reprimanded
Nope.
for shooting each other?
Nope. Not even a little bit. They didn't know shooting each other for shooting him. He didn't shoot
You don't
them.
think the guy got in trouble in any way?
Nope. Because he can explain it away. I feared for my life. We just talked about it.
He wasn't working toward him. No, he was walking to the other people.
He feared for their lives. And then this guy can turn around and start shooting me. I feared for my life. Mm-hmm. That's all it takes. And
You're right.
I
That's
guarantee
all it
you
takes. Right now, that is all it takes.
other officers who aren't minorities will understand, because they all have this innate fear of black people that I just don't get, when we know a lot of crime is committed, probably more crime is committed against white officers by white people.
More crime is committed against white officers by white people.
But let
That
them
is a
tell it,
statistic,
then
a true
we're the
statistic.
problem. Maybe media doesn't cover it that way. But you would think that officers would know who they have to deal with all the time, but they blame us.
Media, of course, media doesn't cover it that way. This is America. America does not like to admit when they're wrong. So yeah, media, white America is not going to admit when they got 20 bad apples in one bunch instead of just one. They're quick to say, oh, it's just one. Oh, he's just it was just a singular event. It doesn't normally happen. Well, it doesn't normally happen with black people either. But if you turn on the television, you would never believe.
You would never believe that. And it's like, I guess with this whole, like the Charleston shooting and the countless examples, especially of mass shootings, which is interesting that we had another shooting here recently.
In New York.
Yeah, in New York. Yes, in New York. The Bronx, it was at the Bronx Lebanon
Hospital.
Lebanon Hospital. And what was crazy is that the guy who's the alleged suspect,
A
doctor, but he wrote, I don't know if he actually finished his licenses and got everything together, but he was in the program. Mm-hmm. But he wrote an email. He sent an email to the New York Times? New York Daily News, I'm sorry. The New York Daily News a couple hours before he actually went and did what he did. And before we talk about it, we know that I think 5 people got injured and one person died. Mm-hmm. But he was saying, hello, the hospital terminated my role to licensure to practice medicine. First, I was told it was because I always kept to myself. And I'm thinking, it's like, is that a problem? Because I know I keep to myself.
Right.
Like my job would be like, hey, we don't need you here. Maybe being a doctor, in order to exercise proper bedside manners, you need to be able to communicate with people. But you can communicate with people and also keep to yourself. But I guess that's him not being a team player. He said, then it was because of an altercation with a nurse. I only told nurse, and he says her name, I will be there to see the patient family in a minute, but she felt I was rude to her.
That's normal.
Yeah, especially because this guy, he's black. Then I was told it was because I threatened a colleague. After I was terminated, I sent an email to doctor, he says the doctor's name, congratulating her for my termination, after she sent out an email to everybody telling them to file complaints against me so I can be terminated for being rude to her. Many of us can relate. And I believe, like, even if he is lying, stuff like this happens all the time. And I could totally understand it happening. And I believe it, I believe it. But anyway, he said, I only said in the email, it remains to be seen if my life is meaningless or disposable. A couple hours later, he ended up showing up back at the hospital where he was working, and ended up shooting some people, killing one person.
The way you treat people matters.
And I think he killed himself too.
Yeah, he did. The way you treat people matters. And I'm just tired of everybody thinking, oh, I can say anything I want to anybody and do anything I want to anybody and nothing can come of it. This type of stuff, we have been hearing more and more and more and more and more about mass shootings. Now, I don't know if statistically there is a change in the number of them, or if the fact that with social media and instantaneous
Yeah, we're
video,
more aware
we're
and
just
alerted
more
to them.
aware of them. But the reality is, at the bottom of every single one of these shootings is a situation that caused it. Okay. And whether the shooting was right or wrong, the situation that caused it can always be adjusted simply by the way we treat one another. You can't treat a person like shit just because you don't like them or because of the color of their skin. You just can't do it. You can't talk to people any old kind of way because you feel like you have a title or you are the leader of the free world. You cannot do it. It has consequences.
And that's what irritates me about all these videos we keep seeing of these racist people or these bigoted people empowered by 45. And, the rhetoric that he spews that they won't ever attribute to him being inciting violence. But we see countless, proof of people going and, fussing at the Starbucks barista because you want a white person, or going to the doctor and you don't want any minorities. You want a white doctor. You're talking to people any kind of way, treating them any kind of way, and expecting nothing to happen to you.
Okay, let me
and
explain.
it bothers me that nothing is happening to these people.
Well, let me explain a few things to you people. Okay. Now, look, y'all know me. I'm customer service's worst nightmare. I admit to it.
Oh, you!
Okay?
I could attest to that.
Now, not because I fuss at customer service, because 9 times out of 10, I don't. I just go around them and fuss at their boss.
Yeah, they still customer service too.
But my point is, you got to be really careful with who you messing with. Them customer service representatives on that front line, they got access to your phone number. They got your address. They might even have your credit card information.
And social, depending on what it is.
Depending on what it is and what that company has, you don't know what kind of information those people got access to. Those people, they might be living right around the corner from you and sitting in their house while they talking to you and feel like, oh, on my lunch break, I'm going to go beat this fool down. You cannot talk to people any old kind of way just because it's a phone between you and them. You don't know where they are.
Or a computer. Because internet gangsters they're real.
Right. You cannot talk to people any old kind of way without something happening. And something might happen. Guaranteed. It's several people in that hospital right now that are saying, you know what? This could have been avoided had I just not said that to him, had I just not done this, had I not lied. And they are sitting there and they are taking some kind of heat, whether it's internally or even from external people, for the crap that they did that made that man flip out like this. You cannot treat people any old kind of way and nothing happen. You can think it. You can sit there and think that stuff's going to happen, like all these people that are saying stuff because they are feeling empowered right now and nothing's happening. That barista who you sitting there telling, I don't want you to have my food, I don't want you to serve me, that same person is going back in the back and fixing your food.
Right.
Okay.
And you don't know what you're going to get.
Right. You do not want to mess with people who got access to your house and people who have access to your food. That's just stupid.
That's one of the things, like, especially with food, where you're fussing at the waitress or the waiter and, they may have, forgotten something and now you want a whole new meal. I'm like, I would not trust that next meal because I'm thinking, especially depending on what how hard you went at them. I'm like, you know what? Just say, I don't want anything else. Can I have my tab? Let's, we're going to go somewhere else. But to just fuss at them and then sit there like, all empowered or emboldened and expect them to give you your food, right? It's going to have some extra ingredients, guaranteed. These
people who clean your rooms, you sitting there fussing at the maid service because she didn't leave a mint on your pillow. Should you come in that next night? There's gonna be something else on your pillow. You cannot.
You the one went and bought a black light in order to try and trip up the maid. We see what extra things they send to you, and they leave for you.
I'm just gonna say I'm gonna be nice. I'm very nice and polite.
No, there's nothing nice about coming in with the black light. You coming in wrong.
They ain't gonna see it.
But you're gonna have to prove it because everything, I'm sure, it's gonna look clean. But when you pull out your black light and show them what you see, they gonna be like, she's one of those, and then you're gonna be on the list.
I guaranteed I'll put "do not come clean my room." I'll clean it myself after that first time.
Now, it costs too much to stay at Disney and clean yourself.
Hey. No, but my point is, you cannot talk to people any old kind of way.
Right.
I can ask you, I can tell you my meal is not right and I don't like, it's not warm, it's got too much salt, and it not be offensive.
Right. And a lot of times, the wait staff, they will understand.
Right.
Depending on how you come at them, and they'll offer you,
It's
whatever.
always about
it's the way you
the
say
way
it.
you say things.
And
It's not the
nowadays,
way you-
people
it's the
just
way
don't
you
give a
say
damn.
things.
They talk to you any kind of way, and then look at you like, now what? Like, what you gonna do? You can't touch me.
Hey.
And I'll be just ready to reach out and touch.
And then situations like this, and then people do reach out and touch.
Yeah.
Situations like this happen, and not only did he reach out and touch the people that he was pissed off at,
Somebody lost their life.
Did he reach out and touch people who didn't have anything to do with it? Were they the ones in the crossfire? Think about it. The last month, how many people have come to work and gone postal? This actually died down for a while. And now it's ramped
I
up
forgot
and
about the
it's
whole
going.
UPS situation.
Yeah. And it wasn't the first one. That was like the fourth one. UPS was like the fourth one in the matter of 2 months, 2 or 3 months. So and how many people get shot just because they come into work to do what they're supposed to do? They don't have anything to do with this situation. And now here's an idiot box fighting it out.
Yeah, getting caught in the crossfire.
And here I am, and all I did was come to work.
And speaking of that, remember we were talking about going to the concerts. Well, in Little Rock, Arkansas, this happened I think yesterday or the day before. But there was people went to a concert at Ultra Power Lounge, and I guess some rival gang members ended up showing up there. And reports are saying that like between 17 and 28 people ended up being shot at a club in Arkansas.
Well, see, this is why you go to old people concert.
No, anything. Old people hold grudges too. You don't think old people gang bang?
We ain't got time.
Well, they may not gang bang. They cane bang. They hitting you with their canes.
Hey,
but I'm just
at
saying
least
it
I'ma
can happen.
live.
And that's one of the things that I think about anytime I'm at a club, because I saw a video, and this scarred me. I saw a video of like a music concert. It was a concert in a club or like a small bar or whatever. And it was a lot of people packed in there, and the artist, I think it was The Great White, and I think this video was on YouTube actually. I may, put it in not the comment section, but in the description box. But they decided to fire off pyrotechnics inside this venue, and needless to say, the venue caught on fire.
Duh.
And everybody started to scramble and try to get out. And then when it was all said and done, you saw all of these piles of bodies trapped in the doorway, the exit, trying to get out. And every time I think about
How old were
concert,
you when you saw that?
this was like 5 years ago that I saw this. It happened maybe 10 or 15 years ago, but I saw it, and I'm like, I knew I was justified in not going to concerts. So I'm leery. Like anytime I go to a club, because we used to club all the time, but now I'm very leery. I leave by 12 because that's when everybody starts to come, and then I start to get uncomfortable because if anything happens, then now I'm stuck fighting the crowd to get out.
Well, when I go to clubs, I don't wear my glasses. I make sure I wear contacts. I don't take a purse. I usually have like a
bandana.
No, a shoulder bag.
Okay.
And it's a small one, and it just has my phone, a lipstick if I need it, which I rarely wear that. So, and my ID, and that's it. And I try to wear shoes I can run in. I used to try to go cute with my heels on. No, you can't run in 5-inch heels. So I just now put on shoes I can run in.
But the sad part is that you have to be prepared
To
when
run.
when you're here to enjoy a concert or a movie or whatever, because even movie theaters aren't really safe anymore. So you got to be selective at what you do and where you go. How do we get here?
Talking to people any old kind of way. Ultimately, talking to people any old kind of way, and not disciplining your children. Those are the two ways we got here. Not parenting your children and talking to people any old kind of way. You don't, a kid don't get to be 14 years old and you sitting here doing everything for them, and then you wonder why they don't do nothing. I think it's multiple fold, but those are the two things that we got really bad. Parents that don't want to be parents. They're so busy trying to, oh, my baby should have got a trophy. Oh, my baby should have done this. Oh, my baby should have got this. They're too busy trying to protect instead of trying to create.
And coddle them.
Right. Instead of trying to create a member of society. And then you've got people who feel like they can talk to people any other kind of way.
Now, I don't necessarily have an issue with, participation awards, because that sounds like kind of where you were going, with parents feeling that their child deserves an award. There's nothing wrong with that. But then you also have to teach your child that not everybody's going to give you an award. Some things are going to take hard work, and just try to be the best at what you do whenever you do it, and respect other people.
There is a lesson in losing.
I agree with that.
There's a lesson in losing and how to be a gracious loser, just as well as there's a lesson in winning and how to be a gracious winner. Life, when you leave mama's house, you don't get a participation award for going to work.
You get a paycheck. I feel like that's a participation award. In my opinion,
a lot of people don't get. A lot of people got to fight for that paycheck.
Yeah, that's true.
But even still, you don't,
because you have to compete with other people. Well, it depends on the job.
Okay,
but you have to compete with other people.
What happens then when you are up again trying to get a promotion because that participation award of a check is not enough? So now you're going up against for a promotion. You're going up against 10 people and you lose. You don't get a participation award for losing the promotion. You just get a check, the same lousy check you've been getting.
Well, they didn't say they were going to keep rewarding you for participation.
But
you got that initial.
That's it. When you feel like, just my kid needs a participation award.
Well, that's why I said, not everybody's going to give you a participation award. So you need to learn how to lose, like you said.
I don't mind, okay, everybody at the end of the year, you get a certificate for playing this year and a picture, a commemorative picture. Okay, fine. But the team that won the soccer game, they the ones that get the award. The team that lost, there's no award. And my nephew's 8 years old. Let him say I didn't get an award for playing.
You don't think children are going to be sad? Because I can understand that's the lesson and that's the teachable moment.
Right. That's it.
They're still going to be sad.
Yeah. Of course they are. But it is the teachable moment. It's where you teach them that you don't win all the time. Sometimes you lose, and when you lose, what do? You learn, you get better, you get stronger. You move on from losing. A lot of people who lose just stop. They start killing people. They do nothing with their life. A lot of people can't handle loss, and that's because they were never taught how to handle loss. A lot of people don't know how to, when they get angry, they don't know what to do with their anger, so they take it out on others.
Right.
And that's because somebody did not teach them how to place that anger and where to place it, how to place it and getting better at what you are. Okay, so you pissed off at this person because they got something you don't have. Okay, take that anger and turn it into a better creation.
Yeah, channel it correctly. Elsewhere. We're saying the same thing.
Yeah, we're definitely saying the same thing. But
even though you're making it seem like you're disagreeing.
Anywho, so okay, for real, you talked about the BET Awards.
I
want to run back to them real quick.
Okay.
Little Kim, they accusing Little Kim of robbery.
Huh?
Okay, so
who is Little Kim? Like, who are you talking about when you say Little Kim?
The only Little Kim I know, Biggie's Little Kim.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking you're talking about. But you said robbery at the award show, so this is not making it. Like, was she taking PayPal payments or something?
Well, so she apparently purchased or rented somebody's little house out for the weekend parties.
Okay.
And she didn't like her accommodations. So at 2 a.m., she wants to leave and she asked for her money back. And the people told her, no, we're not giving you your money back. So she and her crew leave. Well, supposedly at 4 a.m., a group of people show back up at the house with ski masks and weapons, and they robbed them.
And robbed who?
They robbed the people who own the house.
So wait a minute. She rented this house and the people were still there? Like, this doesn't make any sense.
I don't know if it was, I don't know if it was some kind of villa or what, but the apartment managers, yes, they still there.
Okay.
So they send their boys back and they rob them and they stole. This is what they stole. And this is why they say Lil' Kim had something to do with it. They stole Kim's deposit check and some cash totaling at least $20,000. Okay. Why would you steal a deposit check if you robbing somebody? Because you can't cash it.
Well, you have to remember that a lot of times criminals are idiots. They had a whole show about it. So maybe they thought just because it had Lil' Kim's signature on it, this is like This is commemorative.
Well, right now they said Lil Kim
Has something to do with it.
robbed these people.
Now, but I think they would have been able to tell Little Kim's body if she was actually involved.
No, they didn't say she was involved. They said she sent somebody back
Okay.
at 4 a.m. with ski
So
masks.
she
and
commissioned
weapons.
the crime.
Yeah. She of course ain't gonna do it herself.
Yeah, hey, you. Some of these women from the hood are about it. They ride or die.
Well,
They'll hold the gun
she wasn't
themselves.
riding or dying that night.
You never know. Well, she got a new body, so maybe she can't do all of that.
She got a new body, so maybe she did.
I don't know. This is all allegedly, but
Yeah, it's all alleged. It's just
it's fishy though, because I don't want to say I can see it, but I wouldn't be surprised, especially since they stole the deposit check. How do they know what the damn deposit check was? Give me the deposit check. They asked for it.
They specifically they didn't say they stole anybody else's deposit check, just Little Kim's
That's weird.
and $20,000.
Anyway, moving on to a teacher at a Los Angeles Christian preschool. She was fired this week because she wouldn't ditch her part-time gig as a porn star.
Oh,
And she goes on to say, I couldn't work there because it goes against their statement of faith. Duh. Like, I feel like if you're going to be a porn star, like, you don't go to the Catholic church or a Catholic school. You don't go to a Christian school. You don't go to any school dealing with religion and then teach preschool
you
students.
probably shouldn't go to any school teaching preschool.
Well, hey,
if you're a porn star.
she wanted to, that was like her dream job of being, in education. So hey.
then why she step? Never mind.
Anyway, I guess she started doing porn, and porn was paying $2,500 per on-screen situation. So I mean, she's making good money, but I'm sure she ain't making that at the preschool.
No,
I don't think she's making that at the preschool.
no, they don't pay them kind of dollars. And then, how would you define an on-screen situation at preschool?
And wait a minute, I misspoke. Having sex has been her dream job, not
Then why
education.
she stay in the education?
Education was her other passion. That's how the article puts it.
Having
She said,
sex was her dream job.
"Hey, I love teaching. I love having sex, and if I can get away with doing both, then I will."
So then why
I'm
don't
not
you teach
upset.
people how to have sex?
Now that's a good idea, because I'm sure there's money in that. But I got a feeling that people, all they need is like one video, and they know what to do when it comes to having
Some
sex.
of y'all don't.
We're the problem, men.
Ooh, some of y'all don't.
Do we want to talk about how women just lay there and do? You guys need to learn how to move.
Hey,
That's
maybe
not
you're doing
that's
it with
not
the wrong people.
that's not what we are talking about right now. Now the school, they told her like you could either stop posing in front of the camera, or you wouldn't be allowed to.
So they gave her a choice.
Not only did they give her a choice, they said they even offered her a pay raise to assist with her housing. So they tried everything they could to try to get her to have a decent life. Because these strippers, a lot of strippers say they doing it to pay for their education, and then eventually they start making $10,000-$20,000 a
and
day.
they realize how good that money is.
That money is
it's hard
good.
to turn away that money.
But then if you have somebody on the outside, they may not be able to give you that amount of money. But if you feel like what you're doing, your job is maybe, I don't know if you want to say beneath you, or you just don't want to be doing this.
Right.
You want to be making money. And if somebody offer you a way out, you take it. Unless.
So she didn't want to take it?
No, because she want to have sex. You can still have sex. You just got to get other people to pay for it outside of, not on screen. Is that frowned upon? People don't have escorts anymore. You can't prostitute no more. I guess.
Technically, no. Yes, it is frowned upon. However, we've discussed that sometimes sexual situations are actually just attention release. It's a good way to release stress. Let's be real.
Oh, listen to you.
I'm being honest.
Go ahead.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not getting ready to start doing it in front of the camera.
Speak on it,
and I wouldn't do it with 20,000 people.
Tell them about your release.
It's not just mine. If you can sit here and tell me you don't release stress when you have sex, Can you honestly sit here and tell me that?
We want to talk about you, though.
No, we not. Anyway, so, but it is a good stress release. Perhaps we should be thinking about things we can do to relieve stress.
But I don't think there's anything wrong with her loving to have sex, and that
I don't
being
think anything's wrong
her
with her loving to
dream
have
job.
sex. I don't think anything's wrong with her wanting to do movies if that's what her passion is. Somebody got to do them.
But I think she should understand why the church would be more protective of the kids that she wants to teach. And if she was, can you imagine her being in high school and these cats probably know who she is, and so they're gonna be offering her money and trying to rent her.
But the thing is, she's in preschool. Can you imagine little Johnny coming into school and saying, "You know what? My daddy was watching TV last night, and I saw you on the TV. You didn't have any clothes on."
Well, I don't know if I'm watching, porn with my kids in the room.
When you got a preschooler, you might
not
think
that
they
ain't paying attention. Yeah.
And they come and they slip up, and you like, oh,
and so you
got
to
to figure out where's the remote.
So you got to tell them how you and Daddy were wrestling. Go on, tell the truth now, Batiste.
I don't have no kids, so you know that ain't my truth. But
would you? I think that should be the poll question. Like, would you have given up the job? Because $2,500 every time you're on screen. They didn't really go into how often she's able to do videos, because they called it her part-time gig. But $2,500 every time you do a scene.
I would give up the job.
Or would you teach?
I wouldn't even have the job. I wouldn't actually. You know what? I wouldn't have either job. I don't want to teach, and I don't want to have sex on screen. So.
But if you love sex, why not do it and get paid for it?
If I loved it and that's what I wanted to do, I would probably do that over teaching, because she said that was her dream job. I would probably give up teaching, but then I probably would have never been teaching in the first place.
Yeah, that's weird.
But for me personally, I wouldn't do either one.
But you personally, you like kids.
I like
and
kids,
and this is always a problem. Oh, yeah, okay. These kids at school, they go home.
No. Understand? I like kids for a couple hours, not 8. No, that's too. I did preschool for 6 months right out of college.
Teaching preschool?
Yes, I taught preschool. And I mean, the kids were cute, and I remember some of them's name by name, and they were as sweet as they could be. But I mean, the first hour they were cool. After that, I was like, okay, when these parents come to get the kids? No, I don't have patience. I don't have kids for a reason. I don't have patience for them, and I'll never do preschool again. I did it for 6 months, never again.
So the question is, keep doing porn or teach?
I said, and again, I said in her situation.
No, I'm saying the poll question for this week: keep doing porn or teach. No one, like under these same circumstances, you get $2,500 every time you're on screen.
You haven't answered.
Paul's definitely porn. I've done porn before, but I didn't get paid for it. So
leave it up to Mike me.
And you know I don't like kids, so that ain't even that's not an option for me. Forget them damn kids. Preschool too. They can kick rocks, and I'm sure they think that's fun. I don't give a damn about no kids. It's porn for me. I'm cool on that.
I'm sure you are. And on that note, I'm gonna end the show. Have a good night, and thanks for listening.
Peace.